Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and welcome to day 11 of By the Well for God's Equipped by Jesus kit. So we're continuing to talk in this day's devotional about Jesus being our salvation and the helmet of salvation. And Tom talks about Colossians 1:17, which says, "And he is before all things, and in him all things hold together." And so he goes on and says, so if one were to be eternally separated from God, they would be eternally outside of God holding all things together. Things that don't burn could burn, air could hurt, sound could freeze, light, if it existed, could be like daggers. In other words, everything that we would expect could no longer be counted on. After all, the underpinnings of what we know would be gone. But by God's grace, he has given us the free gift of salvation through Jesus. Through his sacrifice, paying the price that were rightfully ours, Jesus equips us with the helmet of salvation. So there's this paper that came in the paper pack that just reminds me of this Victorian wallpaper maybe. And so it's actually on the back side of this blue plaid. I was going back and forth on which one I wanted to use, but ultimately decided on this Victorian era kind of looking paper. So anyways, I really wanted to make a very feminine but very simple card for day 11. And so I decided to add a little bit of this paper to my pocket card. And then I've already stamped out and sewn around some of that canvas. It didn't come out exactly the way I wanted. And so you'll see how I kind of fuss with that. I don't like how my sewing job kind of made all the words kind of lumpy and bumpy. And so I'm trying to use Fabri-Tac glue to, smush that down and make everything even. But after doing that, I just still don't really like it. So I end up taking out some ledger paper. This is ledger paper from the 1850s. And I want to distinguish the two colors because the canvas and the ledger paper were very much the same color. And so I'm just adding a little bit of frayed burlap distress oxide to the canvas, and then I'm going to restamp that stamp on that ledger paper, and I am also going to emboss it with some clear embossing powder. If you ever have a chance to pick up some antique ledgers, I would highly suggest you do so. They have some amazing paper quality. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love how the ink just grabs onto the paper so well. It also takes ink great for my typewriter. I'm not sure if this is all ledger papers, but definitely the two that I have some great paper. I'll end up cutting this piece of paper out just so you see the frayed edges of the canvas still, and then I'm going to paste that on top. So I still wanted to add a feminine touch to this pocket card, and so I grabbed all the primarily blue florals that came in the kit that I still had, and I decided on this long skinny one. Not only does it match the same florals in the background of this paper, but also because it is the simplest, and that's kind of what I was going for with this card. So I will cut out all the extra white space on this floral piece, and then I'm also going to distress it a little bit so it matches with that canvas look. But before I do that, I am going to glue down this piece of ledger paper simply so I can get my placement right with everything going on. I want to have it posted down before I figure out exactly where I want that floral piece. And I will be adding quite a bit of this Barely Arts Precision Glue to the back side since I am posting it on some canvas. Now I could have used my Fabri-Tac glue again, but that's not my favorite glue. So I'd rather use a little bit more of Barely Arts glue and make sure that it sticks down than having to deal with all the extra stickiness that Fabri-Tac glue has. So I ultimately did decide to put this flower piece coming up from the bottom on the right hand side of the card. Now I did cut out a lot of footage of me tinkering with where I exactly wanted to put it, but this was the best place. It does cover up just a smidge of that D, but I can tell that it says Lord, and I hope that anyone reading it could tell too. I will snip that little extra piece off, and then this card will be done. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me over on Instagram at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. I'll try to link everything I use down below, and if you missed day 10's process video, I'll link that one next. I hope you have a great day, guys. Bye.